It's easy with the PowerWedge. I wanted above that one, but it's all right. Laid out nicely anyway. Yeah. So now I got take out that smaller cedar and hemlock, throw them out this way, and then the bigger cedar behind it is coming out this way. And the reason I'm throwing them all this way is because that hemlock way in the back there is leaning heavily this way, and I can't swing the bigger cedar below it. I'd have to angle it quite a ways down the hill. So I'm just gonna, I'll probably have to wedge it this way, that bigger cedar behind these two little ones up front. And then I take that big hemlock, throw it this way. And that's my plan so far. I'll probably cut it off right here, so I won't cut anything that way. I'll just make up a hole. Here, this old rotten blow down here, I'll just use that as a cut off, and I'll just make another swath back that way for the rest of the day. Yeah, because the back line over that way is quite low to the face here. And then as you go this way, the back line gets higher, higher, and higher as you go this way. So as you go this way, there's more and more and more cutting. So even out, the plan is to even out the amount of cutting for each guy. So to do that, we have to cut it in a way where the face isn't level. And so he'll be lower, his face will be lower than me by the end of the day. And I'll be up there, but we'll have an even amount of work, and there'll be no conflict because we're far enough apart. You know, he'll be over there, and I'll be way over there tomorrow, and we'll have an even amount of work to do. We'll try and even it out because there's a whole bunch over there to do. Yeah, so it's not all about having a nice level face the whole time. It's good if you can do it that way, but just the way the engineers rip it out the block, and there's bluffs up there that kind of go across the hill on an angle up, and then the back line kind of follows it a bit. It's just the way it goes. So if we did try and have a level face all the way up, and then he would hit the back line first, and then as we go up and up and up and up the hill, the face would get shorter and shorter and shorter, and then pretty soon you're going to be doubling up for like a week. And they don't want to do that. It's a lot of wasted manpower and wasted money, because doubling up means there's two guys on the hill, but only one guy can cut, because there's only enough room for one guy to cut, but you still have to have two guys for safety. So you're paying for two guys for only one guy to work, but for safety you have to do it. So, but if you can work the block in a way where you minimize the doubling up, that's what you want to do. That's the optimal way to work the job. So, and to do that in this job, I have to leave a bunch over there for him, and then work up a higher face. Going this way. So, yeah. All right. See you next tree. Beauty stump. And here, I'll show you. Okay, so my regular power wedges. You see, it's got a blunt end like this. It's still small enough to get in the curve for your cut, right? But if you do, say you get pinched bucking, or the tree sits back on you and it pinches, well, you're not going to get this wedge into the real tight space. So what you do, I'll just have it with your saw. Where is it here? With your saw, you just shave. You shave it, so you get a nice fine point. You see that? You see how I cut marks with the saw? I just shaved it. So I always have one that's like that for if I get pinched and I got a real tight spot I gotta get into. So yeah. All right, see you next tree. Okay, finally we're getting a breeze, starting to cool me down. Feels good. Okay, this cedar here is probably 30 inches at the butt, or maybe close to 3 feet at the butt. And I want to put it up pretty high. I want to get it above that big stump right there. So I've aimed it pretty high. I've aimed it just to the base of those clump of trees right there. And I think gravity's gonna pull it down, because I want to try and get it above that. You can see that big stump, and then I'm thinking the butt is gonna stop on the high side of those stumps right there. Yeah. That way it'll lay out nice and level, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Got another cut out. We'll see how good my aim is. Oh, gotta adjust the tripod here. How we doing? There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna file up after. Okay, let's see what happens. Absolutely perfect. Beauty looking undercut too. Or I mean stump. Yeah, I got you, thanks. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Called it. And this here, because it's I made a high stump, and I made a high stump to help hold wood up, and I did it on a hemlock. Hemlock has less value than a cedar, so you would try and do it in a hemlock, but sometimes you just gotta put a high stump wherever you can, wherever there happens to be a tree there, and then if it's a cedar, sometimes so be it, right? Okay, now that I got this opened up, I got short stubby little snag. I got a decent sized snag right there, and then I got a huge fir snag up in the timber up there, and then right beside it, a tall, just recently died hemlock. Yeah, so I have to go chase those snags. Nice. Worked out great, that one. The outside hill, nice and level for me to easily buck. Actually, I don't even need the buck, I'll just go limb and top it. Whole thing will fly. Okay, see you at the next one. Show you how this big one. Another big one here. This one here, it's all rotted out the back here. And it's got downhill lean and to the right a little bit, which is good. Problem is this is where I want my holding wood, but it's completely rotted out. So I'll have to bring my holding wood over to here, which makes my undercut really small. But it has a pretty good lean to it. So it'll still go. Only thing is, I won't be able to swing it outside hill. I'll have to angle it down like this, just to get a big enough undercut. Because if I angle it here, that means I have to cut in like this. And it can't go any deeper than here because there's no holding wood there, so that means my undercut would only be this big. But there you go. I'm just worried about it. Well, I'm not worried about it. I'm pretty sure I know what's going to happen. It's going to rip out all this holding wood and it's going to go down the hill regardless of what I do. But I got to try. So I'm going to try and swing it down an angle, down like that, right down there. As best I can, but I have a feeling it's going to break off and go down there because it's got a pretty good probably 10% downhill lean. Yeah. So And because it's fairly big, it's like 8 feet across right here. It's pretty big. And then I'm on a moderately sloped hill. So like I'll probably put my undercut right here because there's ground level right here, right? But on the other side of the tree, if I go straight out horizontally, the other side of the tree, it's like 10 feet down to the ground. So I can't go any lower in here because here's the ground. So I'll probably dog in right here. And then if you just draw an imaginary line out horizontally, you know, I'm like, probably 8 feet maybe. Yeah, 8 feet. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I cut that snag stump purposely on quite high. I was going to put a little scaffolding thing in there, but I could probably just get away with just using it as a step because I could reach out all the way out to here and then I could stand on that. So I don't have to spend the time putting some scaffolding and scaffolding. I just mean a log. So I can, like a plank, I can walk out on that. I don't think I'll need to do that. You're surprised what you can get away with without having to even put a springboard in. You know, if you got, you know, long reach and you got a 36-inch bar, you can cut a pretty good tree on a steep slope without having to put a springboard in. But sometimes you do just have to. There's no way around it. But I can get away with it, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, without having to put a springboard in. I'll cut this hemlock stump down real low. It's in my way. And I won't have to put a big undercut. The only other thing I have to worry about is getting pinched. Because there's, you know, a few thousand, 10,000 pounds of pressure compressing that low side because all that weight is leaning down, right? So that's what I'm going to be careful about. But I do have, right there is a pad. I've got a spare saw, right there. So I got a spare saw rigged up if I get pinched. So I'm close to my spare gear. Yeah. And this is actually just a little post. Look at this. It's not even solid wood. Right where I thought it was solid. It's actually a little post and it's hollow behind it, so yeah, I just gotta be careful I don't get pinched. That's all I'm worried about. Okay, let's get to work here. There we go. She's in. Tried to pinch me in the low side, but wasn't that bad. It's a small undercut. But if you go where the holding wood is, you go straight up, the top is on the right side of center. And even though most of the bottom here is not, the top has a lot of pull, so it'll pull it over, no problem. And I decided to leave a bunch of more holding wood here, extra holding wood. So I stopped cutting right there instead of coming up here. The original plan was, it was right there instead. Okay. Let's do the back cut here. Okay, here we go. So I just peeled up, took my neck flap off because I forget I even have it on sometimes. Don't even notice it. Okay, so I'll start the low side and just go until I feel it starting to pinch me. I can even reach the low side here. Holy moly. Oh yeah, okay, I can reach it, no problem. To go, the whole thing is creaking and growing. I think it's going to rip out the whole high side of the roots here. I don't want to take my axe. Had that before I've lost an axe. And I went with the root one down the hill. Here we go. Still recording yet. Oh, there's the wrong button there. Come on now. Surprised it hasn't fallen yet. Cut pretty good. I cut more on the high side. I just don't want to cut too much holding wood on the high side. I slid a long ways. Should have grabbed the camera. Shouldn't have left it on in that spot there. You guys missed you missed a lot of it, but I got the slow-mo camera there. I should have grabbed the camera though. Should have grabbed this one. I don't know if you guys got it from that vantage point because it looked awesome. I don't have to go bucket now. She slid out of the block. Surprised it went side hill as much as it did. It went exactly where I was aiming it. Worked out great. I just didn't stay on the hill. Just slid down. Just when it finally hit the ground, it had so much forward momentum because it dropped such long ways, and just slid out of the block. It's just Mother Nature for you. It's just the way it goes, you know. So you just make do with the situation you got. Yeah. Okay, that's the biggest one of the day. I'll show you looking up the hill here. Like 3 feet. This is the biggest for the rest of the day, I think. Yeah. All pretty small, smaller than this big one here. But yeah, about 3 feet, maybe the odd 4-footer over there. I know there's a bigger one. So it's gonna be pretty easy going today. I don't think I'm gonna film much. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, if I do, I'll see you guys in the next tree. If not, thanks for watching. Remember to check out woodboss.ca for the PowerWedge. That's this thing right here. Yeah, it's got a thinner taper than all other wedges on the market, so you get better lifting power. You can lift heavier wood a lot easier. And you can only get them at woodboss.ca. Yeah. Okay, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.